All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. I got another project for you here. In this video, we're going to be transforming an old salon that the previous owner had and into a room that I can use as my office. It's also going to have a wet bar. So right now we're not using this room for there has no purpose. And so the objective here is to move my office into this space, give my old office to my kids as a playroom, and in the meantime also create this office that is really cool. So it's going to have a wet bar. It's not a huge space, but it's perfect for an office. Okay, here I'm just cutting through the drywall, seeing what's behind the wall. I'm making sure to move slowly so I don't have any issues with cutting it into any electrical lines or into the plumbing. So I just moving slowly here. After removing the drywall, I turned off the water and drained all the water out of the lines, and I used a sharp bite fitting disconnect tool to pull the PEX away from the copper. Then I pulled them over the joist to the new location and then removed the mounting brackets for the copper lines. I made sure to clean the copper ends before reconnecting them to the shark bite fitting, and then I installed new brackets for securing the plumbing too. Removed the old plumbing, relocated it to the new spot, and started to install the new mounting brackets for the hot and cold supply lines here. Got everything in place. So here I'm adding in silicone grease into the shark bite fitting. All right, here I'm removing the electrical lines. I'm starting to work on the electrical for the wet bar. The first thing I did is I cut a hole for my new outlet location for my wet bar. Then I started working above the wet bar where I'm going to be installing a new light in the overhead. So I'm working on the electrical for that there. Then I installed a new box for my GFI outlet, and I started nailing in the wiring for that. And I just finished by connecting all the outlets and securing all the wiring for each outlet location. This actually went better than I expected, which was good. Didn't run into any issues. So here I'm installing a recessed light for the wet bar, and then I took off the old vanity light the previous owner had installed, and I'm going to use that electrical cable for a outlet where I'm going to put a wall mounted TV. So here I'm installing the box, removing some of the drywall, and then I'm going to start installing the outlet into the box. So after I finished the electrical and plumbing, I began to cut the drywall so I can cover up all the spots I had taken the drywall off. So right about now, I decided that I probably should just take the whole wall down where the old drywall was so that I can use 2 solid pieces of new drywall for that spot. And then I also made the decision that I needed to finalize the plumbing and secure it in place before I start cutting in those locations into the drywall, which I'm doing now. Then I just put it up there. Everything fit pretty nicely, secured it in with some drywall screws, and then began to hang the new drywall up. I think this was definitely a good decision. I had the extra piece of drywall, so it made sense to just use one solid piece. So the cabinets came in from Lowe's. So here I'm securing in the cabinets drilling out the locations for the plumbing. Then I secure the cabinets into the wall with some cabinet screws. Went to Lowe's, got some new paint, which I began painting the walls and staircase with my daughter. We decided we were going to do a black accent wall, which we're coloring that right now. Turned out really good. Hey buddy. Hey. I think I'm going to leave you in my video, little guy. So this is my son. He just walked in the room. So here I'm just cutting out the outlet for the cabinet, actually, which that was pretty nice too. So you can see I'm securing in the cabinet outlet, hanging in the shelves, made sure everything was level. Then I start putting in the handles for the hardware for the cabinets. So I got the hardware off of Amazon. I ordered 3-inch handles, and then I also ordered one larger handle. I think it was 15 inches. And the installation process for these handles actually went really well. Didn't make any mistakes, just took my time, made sure everything was level. So after I finished with the cabinets, I began to hang the wall mount for the TV on the wall. The center location only had one stud available, so I had to buy elephant anchors. Each elephant anchor can hold up to 200 pounds, actually. So this thing was very secured on the wall with the 2 screws into the stud and the 4 elephant anchors. After I got the TV wall mount in place, I installed 2 Cat 6 Ethernet cables to my router. And then I began to work on the shiplap. I realized that I wanted to do shiplap because I wasn't going to be successful in texturing the wall, making it look the same. So I just decided I was just going to shiplap the wall. And here I'm installing the fillers and the trim pieces for the cabinets before the countertops came in. So I got that all installed. And here I'm getting my new countertop. I use Countertop Concepts with Castle Rock, Colorado. This is my second time using them, and they've been fantastic both times. I got soapstone, so highly recommend them. Thanks for letting me use the video. Here I'm continuing to install the shiplap. I did make one mistake where I cut the outlet backwards on the shiplap, so I had to redo that piece. But otherwise, it went pretty well. No major mistakes here. One thing I did make a mistake on is it ended up not being a big deal, but I installed the cabinet before, the upper cabinet before I installed the shiplap, and then I realized that the door would interfere with the shiplap, so I had to only go halfway up the wall. And here I'm installing the plumbing with my daughter, trying to do some life lessons. When water goes down the drain, it goes into this P-trap, and that, prevents gas from going back, into the house and holds water there. It's like also if you lost an earring, it would be in there so you can get it. And so trying to do some life lessons along the way. To hide the unfinished edges, I used this oak corner piece, and I also used the backsplash tile edge pieces that you normally use for backsplash on the one corner on the right hand side to make it look finished, and then finished up by painting.